Hi guys, so I've been thinking a lot lately and I wanted to do something a little bit more serious because normally I do things that I think are funny or I do covers or whatever, but I wanted to talk about something that I think is a really big issue with a lot of people, and that's depression and self-harm. I have, for about the last year or so, I battled with depression and I started cutting myself last year, right around this time, and I just felt like it made me in control, I guess. I mean, like, it felt good to be able to physically see the pain I was feeling. Because I was really stressed last year, and I was in a relationship, and I messed up. A friend asked me to go to his house for a movie, and I went, and I cheated on my boyfriend, which I told him. Point blank to his face, I told him what happened. And we tried to make the relationship work, but it's really hard to make a relationship work when there isn't any trust. So, that's pretty much when it started. We broke up pretty soon after I told him. I think it was about a week or so. And we didn't talk for a good 3 months after that. He didn't want anything to do with me, which is understandable. Yeah. But, in those 3 months, my depression started getting worse, and it was just getting worse and worse, and I didn't know how to let it out, so I started harming myself. We got back together about 3.5 months later. We were only together about a week when he broke up with me again for his guy best friend. And that stung real bad. I didn't really know how to deal with it, but I went home and I'd been using a box cutter, but I hadn't used it for a couple weeks because I'd been trying to stop and I didn't want to start an addiction because I knew it was bad. But I grabbed a box cutter and I cut his name into the side of my leg. The scar is still there, you can still see it. I wish I hadn't done it now, because we dated 2 times after that, for, I believe it was like a month, the 3rd time we dated, and then this last time, the 4th time, it was 2 months. And the last time we dated, he cheated on me with his ex-girlfriend, and instead of being a man and telling me himself, I didn't find out until a month later from his best friend. And that was like a slap in the face, because I'd always thought that his ex was much prettier than me. I thought she was. And we'd hung out that day, the day he had cheated on me, and I had left, and I guess he took her home with him. But I pretty much immediately broke up with him after that, because it wasn't the fact that he cheated on me that stung, it was the fact that he didn't tell me. I would have stayed with him if he would have just, like, talked to me about it, but I guess it wasn't really meant to be. Anyway, this summer, my depression kind of reached an all-time high. I was so confused, I didn't know what to do, and so I cut again. It had been a couple weeks since I'd done it. I think it had been about a month since I'd done it, but it made me feel better. A lot better, actually, until I went to my dad's house and I was wearing shorts, and he saw. And that was kind of embarrassing because I hadn't wanted anyone to know. I only told a few select friends because I thought that if I talked, maybe it would help. Because I had friends that were going through the same thing I was, and I knew that. But it was embarrassing, and I felt so guilty because it was hurting him to know that his daughter couldn't talk to him. He told my mom, of course, and she flipped out, but instead of asking me why I started, asking me what was wrong, what made me want to do that, she made the whole thing about her. You know, the typical stuff. How could you do this to me? How do you think this makes me feel? What am I supposed to do? I was up crying because I heard. And it was kind of like it had nothing to do with her. It wasn't about her. But, my mom wants me to see a counselor because she thinks I have issues coping. And I think I do. And I don't want to see a counselor because I don't like asking people for help. I have a pride thing. But, cutting isn't something that should help you deal with your issues. Cutting isn't something that you should feel like you do because it helps, because it doesn't. It makes things so much worse. It makes everything harder, and it doesn't help. It doesn't, and it feels like it does at the time, but when you look back, even months from now, when they're just scars, you look back and you see them and you wish you hadn't done it. I contemplated suicide quite a few times because I couldn't there was so much for me to deal with. My dad's an alcoholic. My mom
salad.
Smooth.
I hope I'm not late. Later.
Bye. Anyway, me and my mom don't really get along because we have a lot of different views. And I felt so alone. I felt like I was trapped in my own house. And I thought it helped. I thought it set me free in a way because it was something they couldn't control. But it didn't help. And I don't want anybody to feel like I did, because it wasn't fun. It wasn't a good feeling, and it's still not, and I still struggle with it some days. I have a lot of issues with the way I view myself, because while some people tell me that they think I'm beautiful, I don't need to change anything, I think there's so much I could change to make myself better, because I think everybody's better looking than me. Everybody. And I think I have a bad personality. I don't think that I'm outgoing or sweet or smart, and that really sucks. But I'm trying to get over it. Like, as you see, I'm not wearing makeup because I'm hoping that if I stop wearing makeup so much, I'll feel better about myself. I'll get more comfortable with myself. But I can't promise that I can fix things. I can't promise that I can make things better. But I want everybody to know that if they need somebody, that I can try my best to understand and to try to make it better, because harming yourself isn't going to fix anything. And killing yourself isn't going to fix anything. It's a permanent solution to a temporary problem. And I know it hurts now, and I know it. You're thinking, she doesn't know anything about me. She doesn't know what I'm going through. She doesn't understand. there's a lot I understand that a lot of people wouldn't. When I was 8, some things happened. I got hurt. Not really physically, I wasn't, but mentally, I was shattered. And now it haunts me still. But I don't want anybody else to feel like that. Like, if you have an issue from your past, talking about it helps a lot more than cutting yourself ever could. More than killing yourself ever could. So if you need somebody, I'm always here. And I'll always love everybody. Because I think everybody's beautiful. And I think everybody has things that about themselves that maybe they don't see, but I can help you see it. Because everybody has something that they're good at, something good about them that maybe they don't see, but other people can. And I don't sugarcoat things. I don't say things just to be nice. I say them if they're true, and if they're not, I don't say them. That's just the way I am. So, like, if you need help, if you need somebody to talk to, and you feel like you're so alone, talk to me, because I want to help you. I want to. But I can't if you don't let me. So, I love you guys, and I'm always here, and I understand, and I just want you to get better. To feel better, I should say, because it can be a bumpy road, but if you have somebody along the ride, it can be a lot of fun. Well, yeah, I don't know. But anyway, bye guys, and I know that was pretty serious. I'll probably do another cover soon, but I just needed to get that out. So, bye guys.